We all have our biases. They are the set of assumptions that we make about people's religion, race, gender, and other traits. However, one in particular really took a toll on my professional career: gender bias. My name is Arshi Auleear, and I'm presenting my thesis to help empower women in creative industries. I started my career 6 years ago as an architect, and I really can't tell you the number of times people assumed I was the assistant at the job, and they would call me all sorts of names. That kind of bias gets in the way of good decision making, our performance, how we collaborate at work, and it can take a huge toll on our confidence. It creates an invisible tax of resentment and frustration. But the more frustrated we are, the more silent we're likely to be. So, as part of my research, I conducted over 30 interviews with subject matter experts as well as women designers in the industry. I also facilitated a co creation workshop with 15 different women, ranging from juniors all the way to creative directors. And what I found out is that more than 57% of design school graduates are women, and yet only 3% of them are creative directors. Because gender discrimination pushes talented women leaders out of the door. Women leaders want more recognition but face lack of visibility. They want equal pay but face greater gender pay gaps, which is why women leaders eventually quit. This ultimately led me to this question: how can we retain our women leaders in the industry, and what are we doing wrong that they are leaving? To better understand this issue, I created an infographic that shows the number of women at each level. This illustrates how the number decreases as women progress in their careers. To address this issue, I created a series of design intervention at every step, starting with junior women designers. The broken rung remains broken. Young women struggle to have their work recognized. Out of 100 men, only 72 women get promoted. And out of these 72, only 56% of them had to ask whether they were qualified or not. This disparity limits younger women's experience and their skill development. But this is a time when young women are ambitious and they have so much to learn, but without proper guidance, their growth is usually slowed down. When I talked to Maria Judith, she mentioned how great leadership starts with great mentors. With that in mind, I created the first design intervention called Empower. It's a mentorship app designed to empower and support early career women designers in their growth. The app allows mentors and mentees to choose one another based on specific skills. With a simple swipe left or right, they can quickly find potential matches. And once they match, they can start collaborating on portfolio and resume reviews. In addition, the app provides a community feature to post urgent needs, from practicing for interviews, seeking feedback on resumes, design challenges, or asking any general questions. But from my learning of the mentorship app, I decided to test this idea one step further through an experience design called Confident Queen. Let's watch the video together. This experience helped me understand that bringing women together can create a supportive community where they can share their experience and feel empowered. However, while this is one step in the right direction, there's much more we can do. For women approaching the senior level, they face an entirely different form of gender bias. During this time, some may choose to start a family. But they are often met with the motherhood penalty, where 1 in 5 women say they experience pregnancy discrimination in the workplace, and 36% of first-time mothers had to quit their jobs. This disparity often leads to burnout and feelings of isolation. Speaking about maternity leave, Leslie Russell tells me this experience comes with great uncertainty and stress. With the aim of creating a less stressful experience, I developed BBiz, short for baby business. BBiz is a service designed to provide support for new mothers, as well as support for businesses and organizations. Because mothers should not have to be forced to choose between their health and a paycheck. Currently, new mothers have to rely on outside resources to help them through this new transition, and they do this alone. Businesses, on the other hand, have to find new hires, distribute the workload, and this puts a lot of pressure on their existing employees. This is where BBiz comes in. We take the responsibility from both the mother and the employer to provide resources so they don't have to go through this process alone. Let's take a look at how BBiz looks for mothers. BBiz evaluates the mother's goals and provide a personalized plan for them. We connect them with a network of coaches to help them through this transition. Let's meet Anna, a first-time mom who has been feeling stressed to return to work after her leave. As you can see on this picture, they both seem quite overwhelmed and distressed. Luckily, she can log into her BBiz account and find an option that works with her schedule. She chooses to speak one-on-one with a career coach to help her guide her return to work. The coach helps Anna navigate this change in her life so she knows she's not alone. But while Anna is getting trained, BBiz works with the employer to find a flexible schedule that will work for both Anna and the employer. When Anna's ready, she can return to work and feel 100% supported. Let's take a look at BBiz for businesses. BBiz helps businesses accelerate the groundwork for supporting parental leave and become a pioneer for others. They also automatically enroll in our reward system. And lastly, it costs a lot of money for companies to hire new people and train them, but with our solution, we are guaranteeing that they retain their already existing employees. While we are getting a step closer, let's move on to women in leadership positions. These women have established a name for themselves, but they struggle with lack of workplace transparency. There are actually more male leaders named John than the combined number of women in leadership positions. This is due to lack of workplace transparency, where 82% of women leaders earn less than men in similar positions as them. And because of that, it will take over 268 years to close the gender pay gap. This is how much less money women made compared to men in 2022. But to reach equal pay, we need transparency, accountability, and action. Hidden biases hurt everyone, and pay inequality is often ignored by many organizations. The problem is that people in leadership don't like to talk about money. This creates a huge culture of silence, but silence only amplifies the problem. During my conversation with Cecilia, she emphasized how we can't solve pay inequity if we don't even acknowledge it exists. Keeping this in mind, I conducted extensive research on the web for information and data. However, the sheer volume of conflicting numbers left me feeling extremely overwhelmed. With that in mind, I designed Equalize, an all-in-one interactive dashboard that provides real-time data about the current state of the industry. We gather this data from industry surveys and data analysis tool. From there, women and other allies can share this data so it can reach different organizations from small to large corporations. The dashboard helps to highlight the number of women leaving the workforce and why they are leaving. The goal is to make data more accessible, to increase awareness on this issue, but at the same time, it's to help you share this data through various communication channels, such as social media, or even send it to your company Slack channels. Because if we can't see the problem, we can't solve it. However, while this dashboard does get the word across different industries and helps create a movement, I realize that it puts a lot of load on women and allies to carry out this work. But what if we flip the narrative so that organizations and businesses can be transparent and share this internal data with their employees? I created Equalize, the app, to provide companies with their own personalized platform to promote transparency with their employees. The app gives employees real-time changes, from updates in leadership to promotions within the company. It also includes a detailed diversity report that provides insights into the gender, racial composition of different roles within your company. And lastly, it also enables you to compare your salary with the industry standard so that you know whether your compensation is competitive or falls below average. Transparency increases job satisfaction and longer retention rates for employees. This contributes to a thriving business and can also help businesses set an example for others. Which is why it is important to be a voice for women and question your organizations about their policies. We all need allies, so join me today and let's get started to flatten that curve. Thank you.
I feel like I learned something, and I'm a woman in the design industry. So yeah, I think that last platform, distributing data, could be really effective. What do you think would change in the design world if women were in charge?
So many things. I think we need to, we really need to invite more women at the meeting rooms because, for example, your phone is not designed for you. Seatbelts are not designed for you. Helmets are not designed for you. So I think having more women at the table will help bring that new perspective because we're so different. And I don't think you can be a good designer if you're ignoring a whole spectrum of genders out there.
It kind of relates a little bit to Corey's. You know, he was talking about disability-led design. What about women-led design? Really, really great.
You talked to many participants, obviously. Was there a story that particularly stands out for you that affected your perspective on this issue?
Yeah, I talked to many mothers actually in the industry, and it really changed my whole perspective because a lot of them told me that when they went back to work after maternity leave, they lost 5 years in their careers just because they had to downsize, they changed teams, they lost clients. And so that really made me think I should do something like a project about this, which is why I created Baby Business, because initially that was not part of the plan. But after I talked to them, and the struggle seemed really, really real, so that's what I did.
And I guess as a woman entering the design field, how do you feel like this work is maybe influencing you coming out into the world and looking for a job and entering, you know, the workforce?
I think women alone will not be able to make a change. I think we definitely need allies in the workplace. So I know me for myself, I've had amazing mentors since starting my career, and that has really helped me be a good designer. And I think every woman needs good allies, good mentors. So that's something that I'm going to take with me as I'm graduating.
Great.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks so much.